Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. So first of all, for those of you who didn't see my bonus video on Friday, just reminding you that I did it, or letting you know in case you didn't see your notification, or just check out that I have an extra video. So you can go watch that. It was fun. It was a sit and chat, kind of a different more like life topics. Well, actually, that's all it was. And so many of you loved it that watched, which was about 3/4 of the people who normally watch my videos, which I think is pretty good because that means about 1/4 of you maybe missed the video and haven't seen it yet. So the link is here in the description box. It is also in the pinned post, and you can just go directly to my channel and find it. So it'll be the one you didn't see yet. Leave a comment. Also, so many people left wonderful comments, and I've been reading all of those. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mwah. All right, today I'm going to just tell you that this week, I think it's this week, and if it's not, sorry, but that's what my holidays are. It is Teacher and Nurses Week. So I know I did a Nurses Day the other day, and somebody said, well, it wasn't Nurses Day. It was like, well, sorry, that's what my thing said. I'm not a nurse, I don't know. I do the best I can. But if you are a teacher or a nurse, mwah, mwah, we all appreciate you immensely, immensely. And if you want to share a quilt that you've made for a teacher, a quilt that you've made for a nurse, we would really, really love to see them. And you share those over at Quilt Along with Pat Sloan at Facebook. All right, today is Block Wednesday for Grandma's Kitchen. And we have the mending basket. Ta-da! I love this block. It is one of my favorite blocks. I did it here on repeat. Let me show you. So here it is, how it looks on repeat. It is a super, super cool design. And I did have, at one point, I made 4 blocks. Let me just show you what 4 blocks. I'll just kind of put it like this so you can see. 4 blocks makes an awesome table topper, just like that. Look at that. It is super cool. I believe I donated that one for charity now, but I did have one made up like that. So the mending basket. Do you have memories of a grandma's mending basket? I have a few, but they didn't, you know, my grandmas really weren't into sewing and stuff like that, but my one grandma did do a little buttons and things like that. And my mom, nothing. I had the mending basket. So I do have a big jar of buttons from Greg's grandma, but no basket. So that is our block. So I am first going to show you what I did with that strip. I had that strip where I wanted to put some applique on it. Let me show you 2 clips. This is how it looks. I did not put the 4th row on. This is just the 3 rows because I don't need to add another row of bulk while I'm trying to applique these 3 dots. But there they are. And it's not so bad. It's not so bad turning this under here. I can just bunch it up. I don't have to do anything else. There's no batting or anything else. It's just the top. I just take my time and go around the 3 circles, and one's done. Almost, well, a third of the way on the second one, and then I'll do the 4th one. Here it is up close, so I'll pull back a little bit, and it does make a difference just to break that up. If you haven't really done your settings yet and you think you want to have something there, you could do squares, but I think just a different fabric for me would have been enough, something with some pattern on it, like maybe like that. You know, it's just to break up that solid since it's so wide. That's what happened. It just kind of is wide and it's a bit darker. That's where the issue came in for me. But the dots help. The dots just break it up so now my eye doesn't get stuck there. And I've got these pops of darks, which have been really good. Okay, so I am down. We're down here. We're getting there. We are getting there. So fun. I think it turned out fantastic. So don't be afraid to just add a little something. If you later on you get to see that the fabric maybe is not doing what you had hoped it would do within its spot, you can always add a little something on top. All right, what do I want for this guy? Oh, let's look. I pulled some fabric here because, you know, I think this time I want the background, which is the medium tone on here. I want that to be one of these prints, one of the light prints from the line. This is like Laguna Hills, I think is what the name of this line is. The other is, now I know I want to do the purple that I'm using that's not in the sashing. So I have that group here, which are from the line, and these extras. So like that, this one, I think I want to go darker. The little darker ones, this one too dark. So eliminate that. So if I have one of these, I also could do the floral. Ooh, and that might use up quite a bit of this. These are all fat quarters, so they're starting to shrink down, except for the stuff I pulled from stash, which may have been a little bit bigger. Let me leave these three as that option. And then this is the white. Sorry, this is the white, not the medium. I want this as the white. And the medium, got to go back and think through that. I want to do the peach. I want to do the peach in here, and then the white in one of these. So I think I'm going to go with the little circles for this medium here. That way I'm not competing with another color. It's white with a few red dots. So, okay. Then if I use this for the spool, it's going to look like a spool from the mending basket. If I use this for the spool, then I don't want the same print. So eliminate those two. Don't want the same print in white, so eliminate those two, eliminate these two, put back over here. Okay, I have to keep them in order when I'm putting them on the stack. All right, alrighty. And then that leaves these. This one has the great design, but I think that might get chopped up too much. There are some squares. Oh, they're 3.5 inch squares. Oh, well, maybe this will be the one. I could fussy cut. That'd be pretty big. Those are they're pretty big sizes. Do I want that? I might do this. Let me just scroll in. All right, here it is up close. I went and got the smaller image so we could see. This would be the spool. It would have some white, this white behind it with the little images, and then this kind of background in this. All right, I'm gonna go with that. When cutting this fabric, I've decided that I would like it to be right on the design. So so rather than lining up maybe on an outer edge like this, where the design is not straight, I am going to line up on the design, maybe like underneath that one, so that I have a straight edge on the design. I just think that is better for me with this particular print. Before I sew, I check it just to be sure. You can see there's the half square triangles, right? Look, you see the spool? And I love the white here. That does just what I want. Just what I want. So, okay, I'm gonna sew it up. Oh, it's so pretty. This would be gorgeous for blocks so that you could put it as a little table topper. Even one block with like a border would be super cute for on your door. You can make it into a pillow. Okay. I'm going to put it up on the wall, get the other camera. There it is all together. Bringing in that peach color is wonderful. That sort of darker peach. It's not quite as dark as some of the oranges, like up here has the darker orange on the dress. So that looks so good. I'm not picking the sashing colors, except that I know I am going to keep the sashing colors now. Everything I've already used for the rest of them. I'm not going to add in any new fabric. And then the checkerboard things, I'll probably do the same. Maybe these, because I haven't repeated them yet. And down here, whoops, it'll be, there we go. Something like that. While I'm standing up, I have the Make-A-Wish, and also my Tiny Secrets fabric is in the store. The kits are there as well. I'll tell you that in 1 second. But let me show you a couple clips of Make-A-Wish. I'm working very carefully, doing unit by unit. As you can see here, these are units. These are units. This isn't pressed yet. That way, because it's too big for a design board to be like over there, there's no space anyways, I'm just picking them up and down. It takes a little bit longer than if it was a smaller unit that you could just sew kind of in your area and keep track of, but that's okay. It's coming out so cute. Loving it. These are really large squares for doing half square triangles. And my guide beam on the machine just does not reach very far. It might reach to about here, and that's just too far for me to keep on track. So I do want to make a line on the back of these. And I know in the past, like sometimes, I know myself, sometimes I have tried to use a smaller ruler, you know, which then have to scoot along. And now I just make myself, even if I feel like I don't want to reach down and get another ruler, I just make myself get the big ruler. It's like, come on, Pat. I can use any kind of a pen because this will be my cut line. It's just because we're going to sew 1/4 of an inch on either side of the drawn line. This happens to be one of those iron away pens, and I just want to make a line there. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can use pencil, you can use regular pen, because it's going to be in the seam. So there we go. Now I will get the rest of part 1 sewn up. Here is my part 1. Ta-da! This is just such a cool block. Do I have it right? I have to look at myself. Yeah, I do. You kind of need the next part on it to totally get like that sunburst going on. Just 2 rows. It's kind of hard. You got to look at it a couple times. But once you get the others on, it is amazing because you know you saw the original quilt that was here. So this is the Make-A-Witch project, and I know a lot of you are doing this. It is a fun 2-month sew. This part is now available. Plus, there's a free cross stitch too. For doing, you know, you do a donation and then you go and download the free pattern. So look at that. So fun. I am so excited about that. All right, let me get my chair. Here are the 2 tiny secret quilts that we're going to do. 2 of the 3 that are kits. So you can pick up your kits now. We're doing the constellation, the big star type first as a quilt along, and that's from the Half Yard book. And then the second is the parfait, which uses a jelly roll. And there are kits for that, so you get all the stuff together for the kit. And that will do the third. We're going to do the mushrooms in between. Let me pop the mushrooms up there. And this is the mushrooms, which we'll do in the middle of those 2. The first one is the Fat Quarter Shop's pattern. The second 2 are the patterns by my buddy Wendy Shepherd. And so we're doing those in sequence. As we finish one, we'll do the next, and then onward and upward to do all 3 of them. I also want to remind you the Liberty Box is available to pre-order. I mentioned it on yesterday's video, but I know there's a group of you that just watched the Wednesday video. What, just on Wednesday? Come on, you can watch the others. Okay. But you want to get in on that because they are exclusive boxes and they're mystery boxes, but they are just always so amazing. The Fat Quarter Shop does a fantastic job. I always look forward to the Liberty Box. I don't know. Sometimes I think that they really knock it out of the park on that one. I can't always make them, but I do get them. They send me one, and they are just wonderful. All right, I think it's time for a little quilt parade of the blocks from last week, which was the fridge. And I had quite a bit of stories with your blocks, which was awesome. Some really, really fun ones. So I kind of grabbed those to share, kind of paraphrasing everybody's stories. The ice cube trays were a big memory for people. I think a lot of us forgot about those metal ice cube trays and metal ice cube trays. So let's go take a look. We're going to kick off with Anne's block. She said the fridge at her grandma's was round on the top. That's what she remembers because it was different than the fridges that we have now. Of course, it's different, right? There has to always be something different. This is Bethany's block. I love how the two darker, the red and they're kind of like a berry, dark berry, and the navy. That looks so good. Beautiful, beautiful fabrics. Here's Brenda's in sweet, sweet pinks. Oh, pink and green. Love it, love it, love it. Carol's is in blue with look at the corners. The 4 corners. Her background is a like chicken wire. I think I had some of that chicken wire fabric. It's pretty cool. Here's Carolyn's. She said her grandma lived in an apartment and had an under-counter fridge. That's kind of stuff I used to see in Europe. It was quite common. Even in a house, some of the fridges were still small and tiny. So pretty fun to hear that. Love your block. Love the animals and all the farm stuff. Carrie said that her grandma had a stocked fridge, and she loved having a very special breakfast with her grandparents. Such sweet memories. I love all your memories. Here is Carrie's block, and her grandpa had an upright freezer full of gallon tubs of ice cream and huckleberries. She had a wonderful story and memories about that. It's like, wow, that must have been heaven. Go get Grandpa give you any of his ice cream? How was he with that? Cindy's block has gorgeous veggie fabric. Look at that super cute veggie fabric. And she said her own fridge, is full of fresh things in the summer. Diane said that she and her brother would race to the fridge to see who could get there first to pull the lever on the metal ice trays. That's pretty fun memory. And a gorgeous block, of course, gorgeous. Helga says she remembers opening the fridge and there was nothing good, but they would go and check back later, see if anything had appeared. How many times have we all done that? How many times? Oh my goodness. Loads, I think loads of times. Here's Jane's super pretty block, and her grandma always had a separate stand-up freezer full of cookies. The freezer was full of cookies. Oh my gosh. She needed to get with the other, who was it, Carrie? No, it was Kathy, who had the grandpa with all the ice cream. Those two need to get together. Here's Janet. She said her grandma was a really good cook. I love the 30s prints. So pretty. Jill's block, she says she's using scraps to just make what appeals to her. She's actually not doing the whole quilt, but her block is so pretty. Love that blue in the background. Joan's red scrappy. Oh my goodness, love it. She said her grandma's fridge was always full, and when you arrived, she would start pulling out food so that she could feed everybody. That was my one grandma, my granny, my modern grandma had to feed everybody. Okay, Kay's beautiful block. Love that bird fabric. So pretty. And remember my buddy Kendall, he has a YouTube channel where he likes to sew along and show you the blocks and how he's constructing them. So go check it out. He's got this gorgeous blue one for this week. Kim's grandma had a garage fridge before they were a thing. How fun. How fun. What a great memory. And I love the scrappy block. For those of you wondering how, a lot of different fabrics would look, there's Kim's. It's just so pretty. Chris said her grandma had a side-by-side fridge that was brown. I don't remember seeing brown fridges, but I'm sure that they were in lots of colors. I wanted a turquoise or a pink fridge. My friend Laura, who helps with us here as an ambassador, she decided to use my canning jars from my Quilt the Farmer's Market for remembering her grandma, who always had strawberry freezer jam and cookies. So you can make this your own. Make your own memories. That's what it's all about. Mary says she remembers the metal ice trays and that her grandma loved tea. My mom loved tea. My mom was super, super into tea. I don't know if she still is. She probably, but not like she was. Here's Mary's awesome block. Like that background so much. It looks like it has little bitty ladybugs in it besides the flowers. So pretty. And we have several Marys. So this is a different Mary. And she said her Finnish grandma had no electric. So they cut ice from the river and they kept that in an ice house. Wow. Just wow. I hope she got a fridge one day. That's hard work. Here's Miriam's beautiful block. Look how pretty that is. Love that plaid. And my friend Suzanne using her chicken fabric. Look at the fussy cutting in the four corners. Holy cow, Suzanne. You just did a great, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, and another Suzanne, and she said the top of the fridge was the best part at Grandma's because there was a container of cookies. Yes, yes, yes. Who else has food in containers on the top of the fridge? Either your mom, your grandma, yourself. I'm raising my hand. Yes, we always have a basket up there with some easy snack. And Tammy's block, We're second to the last block. I love that blue. Oh my gosh. And it looks like she is doing Quilt As You Go. So I can see quilting on there. Super cool. And we'll finish with Teresa's block. Oh, she said her grandma had a side-by-side freezer and that her mom loved fridge magnets. Oh my goodness. Fridge magnets. Yes, yes, yes again. Thank you everybody for sharing your amazing blocks with all of us. I am always ever so grateful for those of you who share your work. If you've never shared your block, give it a try. People are kind. You get, if you share your memory, it's so fun because other people in the comments will often share something that triggers for them, even if maybe they're not making my quilt along. What? You're not making it? What? What? Anyway, also I'm wearing one of the new spring t-shirts. I just felt like, hey, you know, it's happy yellow. I actually have sunshine today. Yes, sunshine today. All right, we're on the mending basket. I can't wait to hear some of the memories of those. If you have a mending basket that was yours, you can put yours, your mom's, your grandma's, great-grandma's maybe. Put it with your block. If you want to share a memory without the pattern because you aren't sewing along. Anyway, so that will go over in the fireside chat, which is there on Facebook just for this community here at YouTube. It's for us to talk about the things that are on my video that might not be, you can talk about your memories without doing the quilt along. Okay, I might give you a side eye when you do that, but love you anyways. All right, my friend, I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.